Welcome to the SMX Insider post-race show. Called the post-season show because it is done. 31 rounds from Anaheim to Las Vegas and hitting every part of the United States in between. It is complete. Hunter Lawrence, Jet Lawrence, and Eli Tomac on the podium for the final time this year. And it was a battle. Winner take all was the hype coming into this final round of the season. And we knew we would see the full menu, the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. Unfortunate the way it ended for Chase Sexton. He never really had a chance to fight for it. But the Lawrence brothers put on a show, and that was just a 450 class. Of course, the 250 division, Hayden Deegan, he's going to be the one that wants to challenge these guys in the future as the now two-time 250 SMX champion. Look at this fan action, man. You just don't get that in other forms of racing. You get right up on it.
Yeah, that's a cool thing about SMX, no doubt.
Yeah, I don't think you see Tom Brady pouring champagne or
these athletes are super accessible.
That is so cool. All right, let's send it to the post-race set, and they've got the 250 world champ, Katie, Justin, and Adam. Take it away.
Yeah, back-to-back titles for Hayden Deegan. What I loved, Hayden, first, congratulations, buddy. Yeah. Appreciate it. The crowd favorite around literally around this place. I love when you went and hung out with your dad there after you guys gave some high fives and handshakes, and he said, way to be smart. How much of that race was planned out to go down that way?
Yeah, I definitely wanted the 1-1. That would have been a lot cooler just to finish it off like that, but I got into second and I sent it pretty hard, was pitting down laps and I was barely catching Pierce, and I was like, it's just not worth it. I seen 4 laps to go on my pit board. I'm like, damn, 4 laps to being that close to being a champion. I'm like, I could not risk it, so I had to back it down.
I was gonna ask just that, because right when you got into second, talk about sending it off those singles in the back. I mean, launch into the flat. You could tell you wanted to go 6 for 6. You obviously just confirmed that was the plan at that time, but then brain took over and said, nah, 500K is good enough.
Yeah, the mind definitely took over when it seen 4 laps to go.
Yeah, I just don't, I see you out there, man. You're always so aggressive, but you're thoughtful about it too. You know, you don't just go out there and just send it recklessly. Is that, I mean, is it something that you're thinking about a lot out there, or is it really just kind of instinct? You just go off instinct?
Yeah, I think it's just, instinct. I'm just raised as an aggressive kid, so I think it kind of correlates to how I ride, but I'm really just trying to get to the point where I can be aggressive and have that perfect technique as well, and kind of make a little demon on the bike, so that's what I'm trying to do at the moment.
I got a question for you. Did you think you'd be this good?
I don't know. Honestly, the plan was this year I just won a few races maybe, and then next year was my championship year, right? That was my goal, to try and get a championship next year, but to win 3 championships by the time I was 18, that's definitely blew my goals definitely off the list.
So then you take it, oh, go ahead, JB.
Well, it seems like when the pressure moments are the biggest, you elevate. And even when you were an amateur coming up, I think, you talk about Loretta Lynn's, you would rise above and go 6 for 6 and things like that. And when the pressure is big, is there a certain mindset, or is it your dad? Because your dad was pretty much anything he did, he was amazing at. So seeing that growing up, did that help a lot?
Yeah, 100%. I think I've really just done, pressure does, you feel the pressure, and I just learned to turn that pressure into the best me, and that's it's definitely a thing that's just in my system, maybe how I was raised or something, where I don't let the pressure take over me. I just do my best work when I have pressure, so it's definitely a good habit to have.
We saw that, and of course when you were just watching Jet celebrate right there, it was almost like this intensity of okay, is it his celebration, what it is? When can we expect to see you race him?
Yeah, I definitely want to race him in a few years and beat him. That's my goal. I want to, move up to the 450 class, like everyone does in the 250 class. But the goal is to, train really hard, work my butt off, and figure out a way to beat him.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Heck of a season.
Thank you.
You earned it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Out of curiosity, what are you going to do with the money? You already got the car.
Yeah, I know. I got a car. My mom's like, you got to get another rental property, so that's probably what I'll end up doing.
I love it.
I love that he still listens to his parents. I guess that's what you do at 18 years old. Guys, a lot of fun down here with Hayden Deegan.
Here are the highlights. Final SMX round of the year, final race of the year in the SMX League. And we had a packed house here at the strip, the drag strip in Las Vegas. 250 class, Hayden Deegan did not need to win the race to win the title, but he really only has one mode, and that is go for it. And in Moto 1, he did exactly that.
Yeah, he came out this first moto, got the whole shot, and like you said, he only needed to finish third coming into this, but that's not how he raced. Tricky conditions early in that race because it was the first time these guys were underneath the lights. Had Ty Masterpool up in second, little OJ right there by Hayden, but as that race got going, we saw him pulling away, and this was a moment right here, RC, where Ty Masterpool got clipped by Tom Vial on the inside, just a racing incident.
Yeah, racing incident, and Tom didn't mean anything by that, just unfortunate situation. But Pierce Brown, incredible ride this first moto, and I feel like he kept Hayden honest for a majority of the race for sure. It just wasn't no layup shot for Deegan.
And Deegan is able to hold off Brown, and that is a key first moto win. Now, it doesn't wrap up the title there, but it makes the pathway that much simpler. And Brown second. We go to Moto 2. This time, not as good a start for Deegan.
Yeah, he didn't get the best jump. Tom closed him off, and you can see how patient Hayden was. You know, no risk. The only thing can happen right there is him going down to lose his title. So, you know, things are chaotic. He just watched what happened with Chase Sexton, another title contender in that 450 class. So really patient, but it was Ty Masterpool putting on the clinic on how you ride corners. These opening laps, man, he was sending it around these outsides, and then you saw Hayden Deegan starting to make his way up. Max Anstey goes off the racetrack, Hayden slides up, and that was in the 4. Key position because it allowed Hayden to basically wrap up that championship no matter what anybody did in front of him, and he just kept going.
And then look at this. Vial goes after Masterpool, and this time Vial ends up on the short end of the stick.
Yeah, I think he tried to tuck back underneath the inside of him and have the preferred line, getting into that right-hander, ironically, where he passed him the first race.
So Deegan's in position for the title. How about the race win? Pierce Brown going for it. Now it's his turn to go after Masterpool, and he just muscles his way in.
Yeah, he got in there, and it looked like they got hung up for a moment as Hayden Deegan was closing in on these guys, and Todd did a great job at fighting those guys off for a couple laps. Very stubborn, and then Hayden Deegan was trying to do a few things. After a couple laps, he gets around them in this triple section, and basically solidifies his way into second. Went after Pierce Brown, but Pierce was on a different level this second moto. Hayden couldn't do anything, and then he got his first ever victory right here.
4 years as a pro, been waiting for Pierce Brown to finally get some good starts. He finally does, and he finally wins. Answering that question, and Deegan doesn't get the 6th moto sweep in SMX, but the 1-2 is going to make him the world champion and 2nd overall for the day. There's the family cheering down at the podium. And there's the championship trophy. So that's pretty darn heavy.
Especially after just winning the 2 motos, 20 minutes. But
yeah, he put some effort down.
Yeah, he put a few more pumps in for that one. That'd be all right.
So there it is, the lights of Las Vegas in the background. Pierce Brown, again, first career professional victory, and he leaps to 3rd in the final SMX standings. Combine that with the $50,000 win bonus for each race here. He made himself $180,000 tonight. Deegan on top of Vials, who is 2nd. Mentioned Brown there. Shimoda just misses 4th. Just misses 3rd, but 4th in the points. And Jordan Smith rounds out the top 5 in the final SMX standings. Let's go back to the desk with Katie.
We have the defending 450 champ here with Jet Lawrence. Jet, I love that when you started right after that first moto, you said, all I'm gonna do is go out and win. I gotta keep it simple. And you just did just that. Well done, my friend.
Yeah, I think that's the best start I've ripped all year.
Stop lying. Stop lying. You're out of there every time, dude.
And obviously Hunter also ripped a good one too. So it was like, it's good, but also it's like, it stings a bit because it's against my brother. I obviously want to see him win too, but we're both out there, so it's like a little bit difficult. But nah, we're happy to come back and yeah. That again.
We heard you caught on the live mic there saying that you felt bad.
Yeah.
When you got, is that real?
Yeah,
like you really feel a little bad?
I mean,
a little bit.
I would. If he would have won it, that would have been a really good rookie season of 450, and I would have gone matching with mine too, because my rookie season I won it also. But I'm sorry, big bro. I'm sorry.
Not that bad. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He's still got a smooth 500, so
he did. He did.
He'll be fine.
It's 2nd. I think it's still cool, both of us being 1 and 2. So I think that obviously means a lot too for Daz. I think Daz would be pretty pumped for both of us to be 1-2.
Yeah, that's incredible.
When you kind of share these moments together, looking at you from last weekend and how much we saw the intensity in your face. Flipping the switch now, can you kind of reflectively think back to this week? Did you do anything different? Was it a different psyche? Anything that teed you up?
Yeah, I think every racer out there, they hate losing.
Yeah.
And obviously it was a slight mistake on my behalf with stalling it. And yeah, it stung a bit, but I think, yeah, now I feel like these are the last race things. I feel like I'm built for it now. So it's kind of good to go back to back with an all-win scenario. And it was, I think it was also sick to go up against Hunter with it.
Totally.
Yeah, you've been winning pretty much since you got here. I want to ask you, does it still feel the same?
It still
like
feels
you're still
good.
just as
Yeah.
motivated?
Well, I like my cars a lot, so it helps pay those off. So
Oh, I love it. Walk us through this one right here.
Yeah, I mean, we were just trying not to make any mistakes. Once we kind of got that 2-second gap, I mean, Hunter was still pushing, so we had to keep focused. And I mean, I think second last lap in the after mechanics, I almost laid it over. I came in, it grabbed my fork leg and leant me over like flat almost. I don't know how I saved it. But
one of those ones where you just kind of know you're going down and you kind of just let it go and somehow it works out?
I was forcing my way up. I planted my foot and was like dragging it and pushing up. I'm like, no, no, no. So, yeah.
Going into Charlotte, obviously there was a lot of speculation on your injury, how much time you had on the bike. Did you surprise yourself a little bit round one of the playoffs?
Honestly, I knew. I think now I could say I always try to be pretty humble coming in. I don't want to jinx myself, but I felt like I was going to be a podium guy. I felt confident. I was doing similar laps and lap times to Hunter. Hunter was actually faster than me going into Charlotte, but I could match a few laps, and obviously just more times I ride, I feel like I get better and better, you know. So I feel like just that race weekend, it just brings that extra bit out, you know. And obviously I think the win surprised me a little bit, but I was definitely trying to aim for a podium.
Yeah.
Did watching Chase win that outdoor title, was that like, I always struggled when I was hurt watching races back. Like, I would just get mad. It would put me in a bad mood, so sometimes I just straight up wouldn't watch the race. Is it tough for you to watch?
Oh, no, it definitely stung for sure, you know. I think out of all the rounds that I missed, I watched the first one, and if Hunter won, I'd go to watch the second one, but if you didn't win the first one, I would be pissed off, and I'd go start running or something, or go be pissed off. I'd angrily run down the street. If anyone was in California in those last few rounds and saw an angry man running, that was probably most likely me.
The good news is there's no angry man running in Jet Lawrence, I don't think, tonight in Vegas, at least. That's a good thing, right?
No, thank gosh. Well, actually, we still got Nation, so sadly maybe, but not angrily.
Angry man.
We'll be doing it happily now.
Okay, before you go, you had said you won a fair bit of money. We know that. Yeah, it's a fair bit, guys. What are you going to buy? Anything? Deegan said rental property.
Rental property. See, he makes this.
Lucas got you on a tight leash?
No, it's more so Daz. Daz has a. But I mean, I've used all my bonus money in the race wins to kind of go against rental properties and all that stuff. I got a financial guy, so we're already dialed on that. So we're just gonna get some toys, probably some nice, expensive toys.
Right off.
A lot of toys with
Right off.
Right, got a new Porsche 911 Dozer, so we needs at the farm.
Oh, yeah, we need a Porsche at the farm. Don't you think we need a Porsche at the farm?
We need a track car.
That's what the
Thank
accountant
you.
would say, yes, a Porsche Dozer. Jet, thanks for hanging out, man. We really appreciate that. I'm sure it's going to be a fun time. We remember it was like Salt Lake City just a couple months ago when that team and Jet were celebrating the Monster Energy Supercross Championship and more to celebrate for Honda. Look how close this was. The SMX does also crown a Manufacturers Championship, and Honda wins it over Yamaha by 3 points. So we need to hand that one out. Send it back to the podium.
That's right, to hand out another beautiful trophy here. This time it is the Super Motocross World Championship Manufacturers Cup. And here to present this trophy to Honda HRC is Bill Harris. He is Director of Operations, and he's going to be presenting it to Brandon Wilson, who is Manager of Racing at Honda HRC. Over to you, Bill.
On behalf of the SMX Racing League, congratulations on the 2024 Super Motocross World Championship Manufacturers Cup.
Thank you.
So you get one too, Brandon, you get one too. Now talk to me about the team and all the work that's gone in. I obviously get the privilege of getting to talk to you guys on a weekly basis. Yeah. I see firsthand all hands on deck and everything that everyone's doing. So just talk to that side of it, because it's the unsung heroes back there that make it happen.
It really is. It's huge. You've got such a huge amount of people, started really in January, and now we're finally wrapping up. And then, for us this year, mid-season, we switch over to the 25, CRF 450, and here we are. So it's just been so much effort out of everybody. So I'm so proud of all the guys here, and we've got a ton of the staff that don't get to come to a lot of the races that are here today to celebrate too. So just incredible.
And just talk about the Lawrence brothers first. We've just heard from Jet. We're about to hear from Hunter. What are your words? How can you put into perspective the unique situation that you have with these two riders?
It's just incredibly special. I mean, you don't see anything like this, you know, often, and the way they work together is incredible. And when Jet came back, you know, from this one, just wins $1 million, first thing he said basically is, I feel bad for Hunter, you know? So it's like, just an awesome family, awesome people. Just couldn't be happier to have them part of the team.
Well deserved to you, well deserved to the whole team, riders and all the mechanics and management alike. Congratulations.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Over to JT. JT, Hunter's with you.
All right, so we're just going to keep the party going with Team Honda HRC. Hunter Lawrence, Jet was talking about he wanted to win so badly, but he felt bad that he had to beat you to do it. Would you have felt the same way? Would you have felt bad that you just became the 450 SMX World Champion?
Clearly didn't feel that bad, otherwise he would have let me win, so no, but it's all good. If I have to lose to anyone, I'd rather it be my brother, for sure. It's tough, but hey, if you know, he won the first round, I was fourth, then I won, he was third, and then obviously the tiebreaker, so you know, he was the better guy. He got around the turn just before me, and it was a pretty textbook perfect race from both of us, honestly. From pretty much how we went over the first obstacle is more or less how we finished, so it was cool, just a chess match out there, and you know, none of us really made any big mistakes that caught us out, but yeah, it was a good race, and happy to just give the fans a good watch, you know, all the way till the end, and the team, you know, a massive thank you to them. They've been unreal all year long. So
when you think about 2024 as a whole, you had to come in with some confidence. You had a fantastic 2023, but it didn't start so well, and you got better and better and better. And over the next couple of months, you'll have time to reflect on that. Did you think you would be here coming into the SMX finale with the points lead and make that big of a jump in your first year?
Yes and no, honestly. I don't really know. I didn't really think about it. I just focused on the job at the task at hand and just worked hard each day and focused on day by day. And I obviously knew Jet was where the bar was and stuff, so I had a pretty good gauge of that, and just each day just try and get closer and closer and stuff.
Well, the hard work showing up. Great job.
At the end of the interview, you're not going to hear anything with this going on in the background. That's Jet Lawrence's mechanic there, and that is awesome. The mechanics have come through the ranks with them. You always call him his little mechanic back in his amateur days, and they've stuck with the boys all the way to the top. These are the highlights. 450 SMX finale in Las Vegas. The pageantry. Great to have a night race, by the way, to end this after 2-day races. It just makes that little extra pop. Look at the riders on the left. Chase Sexton, and the right there, Jet Lawrence. It's all on the line. Whoever wins the race wins the World Championship. Sexton gets a little buried off the start. A good one for Jet. Eli Tomac shoots into the lead.
Yeah, Eli came out. He's been riding good all playoffs long, so it was nice to see him out front. But that start that Chase got a bad jump off the gate, got caught up in the back. It's going to play out large right here, RC, and here it did in the middle, first lap.
Yeah, this didn't take very long, and I think he was going to the inside to get a run and still double out of that corner, but just needed, in my opinion, a little more self-awareness early on. We saw some stuff like that happen in the Supercross season with Jet Lawrence and Justin Barcia. Justin didn't mean to do that, obviously, and put the onus on Chase there, sadly enough. Hopefully he'll be okay, though.
Yeah, heartbreaker. They said he's got to go get x-rays on his hand, but his title hopes were done. Meanwhile, Jet late rallies to get Eli for the lead.
Yeah, man, and he did a scrub, man. This was after a few laps. Eli started to get in the way in the middle part of that race, but Jet hung on. He said he went to school, was watching him, and then he caught up the inside of Eli, made that pass, and then went on for his first moto victory, which was going to play out key into his overall.
Absolutely, because he actually puts Tomac between himself and his brother Hunter, who ended up third of that one, and you cannot get a better scenario for two brothers than this start.
No, and Hunter called it. He said he was right in front of him. That's how the race played out. I thought we were going to see some brother-on-brother crime out there, but they rode phenomenal, RC.
Yeah, they did, and they had to. And I'll tell you what, Eli was showing us some stuff. Now, he had a moment right here. I mean, he overjumped that first one. He did it another lap as well. Easy to do, make mistakes there. But nevertheless, this guy, cool, calm, and collected. He rode his laps. Never really made any mistakes. One close call that you'll see a little bit later, but Hunter definitely made him work for it, no doubt.
Yeah, they were good enough to pull away from Tomac, who was very quick. And Hunter never drifted too far back, but there it is. Jet Lawrence, 2 years in a row, had to win the finale to win the title, and does it. They get the respect from the legend Eli Tomac. They are the top 3 tonight in Vegas, but the biggest prize goes to Jet Lawrence. There's the hug from the team manager, Lars Lindstrom, $1 million, and that brand new trophy. And the SMX World title belongs still to the Lawrence household. They're 1-2 in the race, by the way, as well as the standings. Great to see Eli Tomac back and so strong in these playoffs. He really made it fun, especially for the fans. And Aaron Plessinger, what a comeback. Bad shoulder injury at the first playoff race. He rode great in that second moto and ends up 4th for the day. Cooper Webb, 5th. Justin Cooper, riding hurt. He manages to dig out some points. There were some big moves within these standings. The heartbreaker is Sexton, who ends up drifting back to 7th in the standings. He could not compete after that early run-in with Barsha. The brothers actually tied, by the way, but the tiebreaker everyone knew would go to Jet by virtue of 2 race wins to Hunter's 1 in the playoffs. Send it back to Katie in the desk.
Yeah, thanks, Weege. They say there's nothing better than winning big in Vegas. And JB, we talked at the very beginning of this show that you win some, you lose some. Who else besides Hayden, maybe Hunter, Jet, won big in Vegas here tonight?
Well, I wouldn't say so much Vegas, but I just think throughout these playoffs, we've seen a resurgence from Eli Tomac. You think about going back to Charlotte, that first main event in the 450 class.
I love where you're going with this.
It was unbelievable. Literally his first 3 laps, it was like beast mode is back, right?
Yeah.
And I think transitioning into 2025, Monster Energy Supercross, into the playoffs next year, Pro Motocross, all that, Eli Tomac is here. He's here to battle the Lawrence brothers.
AC, was there anybody who surprised you?
Oh, man, I just think I'm surprised constantly by, you see somebody like Jet, we'll watch him have a dominant performance, and you kind of go into that next week thinking, oh, well, maybe, you know, the next 5 years is going to be just the Jet show, and that's it. But I think what happens when you have somebody like Jet come into the sport, it raises the level for everyone, JB, and I think I'm just surprised to see. I think Hunter Lawrence, just the raw speed that he showed he could raise that level. Eli Tomac into his 30s now, coming out here. Maybe
just a spring chicken. Let's not talk about those early 30s, 31 spring chicken.
Right, but just you see him stepping it up, and I think the whole sport is on the rise. We got a birth of a superstar in Hayden Deegan. Sport's in a great place. I'm very glad I got to be here with you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, did you at all think, man, I wish I was on the bike? I was on it last year. I was racing with those guys.
Not one time. Okay. Not one time. These guys
are glad you're with us.
Way too fast for me now.
And shout out to Pierce Brown.
Right?
Getting the win tonight. What does that do for his season, for next year, and his career? We talk about Julian Beaumer to start in Charlotte, getting his first ever podium. That's kind of leapfrogged him into the conversation into next year championship contender. The same thing for Pierce Brown tonight.
Boom.
Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure being your teammates here in the playoffs.
Likewise.
Big old fist bump here. Thank you. Weege, the boys, thank you all for your efforts. It's been a blast.
Yeah, and it's great to have the 3 of you here because we talk about the level being raised on the racetrack with Jed and Hunter and everybody else stepping up, and then when we saw in the 250 class, but it's really the level for the entire sport, or I guess we could use the term the industry embracing these playoffs. We've seen great racing 2 years in a row, and even having things like a pre-race show and a post-race show. I remember as a kid wishing we would have that kind of coverage. To have you 2 guys in the booth, wishing we would have things like that. Everybody is elevating their game, but obviously on the racetrack, Adam and JB said it, things are going to another level, James, but you both said people are going to rise up to match that as well.
Yeah, and they have. I mean, we saw Eli. I think Eli's probably riding the best he has in his career. He came back the end of the motocross series, showed a little bit of the speed, and then he showed up at the first playoff. We were like, oh, wow, Chase Sexton's elevated. Hunter Lawrence elevated. I mean, that's all because of that 18 or number 1 Jet Lawrence. But you know, when I'm looking back at this season, I think the biggest moment of the season came right when they had the 2-week break in motocross, when Honda decided to go from that 24 to 25, and the difference that it made for Hunter Lawrence to finish off that motocross series, to get some confidence that he found something, allowed Jet Lawrence to get on that bike, and they worked it out. You go back to then, this title might not have happened if that team wouldn't have made that change. And so I think Honda's got to be a big part of this and making that move.
You really nailed that. We go back to a race at Glendale, Arizona earlier in the year. It was not a great one for Jet, and he's like, those hard pack slick conditions are not the best for me. I asked his dad this morning, are you worried this track's going to be like that? And he's not on the 25.
Yep.
Not on the 25. That solves a lot of problems. So maybe that's the thing. Everybody's raising their level, RC, but so are the Lawrences and Honda as well.
I mean, I expect nothing less from those guys.
Yeah.
They're absolutely incredible. They deserve everything that they get and that they've earned. They've earned it the hard way, and they're going to be around for a while. Like Adam talked about, I believe that Jet has elevated the sport. Everyone's going to elevate their game, so it's going to make it harder on him, I believe. So it's going to be fun to watch. I think, again, going back to what Adam said, a lot to be thankful for, and it's going to be exciting. I think Hunter Lawrence did a great job looking back at his rookie season. Doesn't even qualify at Anaheim at the first race, and then he comes out here and he ties for the SMX World Championship with his brother, who is the greatest thing right now. So that was fun. I look at Hayden Deegan. I think he's got some boxes to check off next year in the regional 250 championship as far as Supercross goes, and we're going to be talking about him and when is he going to be facing these guys. But it's going to be fun to watch Eli Tomac. You talked about him. I was thoroughly impressed by Eli Tomac and how he came into this SMX playoffs. He's never ridden the SMX tracks, and I think he's going to rely on his experience and everything that he's learned throughout his career, and I think it's going to get him some wins. I think it's going to be tough for him, but it's going to be a lot of fun to see him put in some great performances.
Oh, yeah, and it always goes back to the same old thing. When you talk to Lawrences or the Tomacs or the Deegans, it's a family unit. They're all doing everything they can to raise that level, which we keep using that term. They got about 3 months to figure it out before 2025 comes, and we will show you what the schedule will be throughout this week. We'll have teasers starting Monday of the 2025 regular season schedule. That is Monster Energy Supercross and the Pro Motocross Championship. And then on Thursday, we'll just unleash the entire 28-round regular season schedule on the SMX Insider Show with myself and Jason Thomas. So stay tuned to the social channels for Super Motocross all week, and get ready to get your tickets and figure out what races you want to go to in person, because as we just said, we're watching that podium down there. There isn't another experience in motorsports quite like this. Finally, thanks to you guys. It's amazing. I mean, every fan on earth wishes they could be in the position I am to get the bench race with these guys all year long. We'll be back next year to keep on doing it. It is so fun, the position that this sport is in right now. SMX really helping raise the game for everyone, and then these athletes that are behind us on the racetrack doing it as well. So for everyone on this crew, so thankful you could join us all year long. We will see you next year. We haven't announced the schedule yet. I'm just going to spoil it. It will start in January. Just letting you know that. And we'll see you at the races, everybody, in 2025. It's been an awesome year in 2024.
Won't go down, I will win this race. I'm winning. It's time to give the best of me. I'm winning. I give my all, not scared to fall. I'm winning. I rise on the backs of those before. I'm winning. Tired of being beat down, wrapped up and making no sound. Gotta get out of this mess now. I gotta stop losing me. Was down but now I'm ready. Sharp focus like a machete. My future weighing on me heavy, not backing down. Gotta breathe. Won't go down, I will win this race. I'm winning. It's time to give the best of me. I'm winning. I give my all, not scared to fall. I'm winning. I rise on the backs of those before. I'm winning. I'm doing it for me now. There's no time to be messing around. Take big steps to move forward. I gotta stop losing me. Those good signs of progress. Point me to what is the best opportunity. Feel me, not backing down. Gotta breathe. Won't go down, I will win this race. I'm winning. It's time to give the best of me. I'm winning. I give my all, not scared to fall. I'm winning. I rise on the backs of those before. race, I'm winning, I'm winning.